Hey guys, so this is going to be one take again today. Also, it's not going to be that pleasant, so, and there's not going to be any Ryder. So if you're here for Ryder, it's just me today. Look at my hair, it's so messy. I am at the park, actually by myself. I just needed to get out of the house, and I kept walking, and this is bothering me. I ended up here. So if you see I have sprained wrist, I'll get into that in a different video. I just don't want to go into it just right now. I'm trying to figure out how I could put this down so that I don't have to actually hold it. But I couldn't figure it out. But that's alright. It's fine. It is what it is. So, it's rainy today. It's ugly. It kind of suits my mood because I'm upset. Today has been 6 years since we last heard our daughter's heartbeat. So if you're new here, you may or may not know that we have a daughter who died at 38.5 weeks gestation in my stomach for, well, there was a reason. We ended up finding out like months later, probably 2 months later, that I had an undetected infection. No, I can't think of what it was called right now, but it's, group strep B. So it's common, however, they don't test for it till late in pregnancy, and I actually got tested for it, but my midwife failed to give me the results in time, and I didn't get antibiotics in time, which I was at the appointment 6 years ago today. I know it was 6 years ago today because of the fact that we had someone that was close to us that had a miscarriage yesterday. I think it was 6 years ago yesterday, and I was upset. I didn't really know anybody who had ever had miscarriages. I didn't know anybody who, well, like, if I did know anybody who lost a child, miscarriage, stillbirth, whatever, I wasn't affected by it, and I was really, really affected by this. I believe she had the miscarriage 2 or 3 days ago, but then she had her D&C today, or yesterday, so I insisted I get into the doctor's, so I went to the midwife appointment. When I got there, she listened to the heartbeat. She couldn't find it right away. Then she found it, and I was crying when she found it. And she's like, "Why are you crying? That's a reassuring sign." And I was like, "Well, because I'm upset, and I'm happy that you found it. However, I still have a really bad feeling something's gonna happen." And she kept saying, "No, no, 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 no. Obviously nothing's gonna happen." So she had been late too, I should say that part. She had been late, very late. Our appointment was for like 11, and it was almost 12:30 by the time she actually came and got us, and there was no one else there. So I was upset about that, and she said, "Oh, well, I didn't even know you were sitting there. They didn't tell me when you checked in. Are you sure you checked in?" And she started blaming me, and I was like, "I checked in. They took my health card and everything, and blah, blah, blah." So then I told her that I was really still upset. And she said, "Well, you could go for a non-stress test." And I didn't even know what a non-stress test was. I had no clue what a non-stress test was. We had never even talked about that. I had never even heard about it. We just had started our birthing classes, and they didn't, we hadn't even got to that part yet. We were 2 weeks into our birthing class, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been 6 years ago. What I do know is that very day we stopped by and bought a stroller on our way to the appointment. So like 9 o'clock in the morning, we dropped quite a bit of money on a stroller. Like, I want to say it was like $900, $800 or $900. Like, it was really expensive. It was a double stroller. It was a stroller. It had everything with it. And if you know anything about strollers, they're double strollers, but they can convert into a single stroller. We bought we bought one seat, the bassinet. The seat alone was like $75. I mean, like, we spent a lot of money on this. So we just ordered it that very, very day and then went to our appointment. Or no, actually what happened is that we didn't order it that day. We had already ordered it. They called to tell me it was in that morning. So I told her we would be there after our appointment to either pick it up, or we would come and pick it up on Monday or whatever. Or I don't remember. Something had to do with the stroller. Nope. See, I'm lying again. That day we went and put the rest of the money on the stroller. That's what we did. And because we were paying payments, and she said, "Okay, you know what? I see that it's been delivered to the warehouse, so it should be in our store in a couple days." That's what happened. And it was a Friday. We went to our appointment. We did all the things. She had mentioned the non-stress test. I said, like, how long will it take? And she said, oh, well, anywhere between an hour to 2 hours, just depending on how busy the hospital is. And she said, well, I can also get you in to see it on Monday, a non-stress test on Monday. And I said, okay, let's do that. Not knowing anything about non-stress tests and if it was important. And if it was that important, she should have sent me right then and there. Just not even asked me, just sent me. And then she said, well, I'll also do an ultrasound at the same time. We'll do the ultrasound first, and then we'll do the non-stress test. So called about, get the ultrasound, see if you can get in today. So we said, okay, you know what, fine. But she's only said the ultrasound to get in today. So we went home. It was already 1:45. Mick had to leave for work. He had to be there for 2. And he had a really good job, which he actually really enjoyed. And it was really well paying. Well, he didn't enjoy it. I shouldn't say he enjoyed it. He tolerated it because it was a call center. So now he left. He left for work. I called in, tried to get the ultrasound. I said I would go by myself, and they said no, I couldn't get in until Monday. So whatever. The weekend rolled around. I really just wasn't feeling that great. I was really tired, but I mean, I was 38 weeks pregnant, so of course I was tired. Apparently I had gestational diabetes, which that day I also found out just in passing. She said, oh, so have you met with your gestational diabetes counselor yet, or doctor? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, nobody told you that you had gestational diabetes? Which I went at 20 weeks and then failed, so I went back again at 25 or whatever it was, or whatever, and failed. So for like 10 weeks I had already had it. Yeah, so they hooked me all up with all the people, blah, blah, blah. I made a bunch of calls when I went home. I laid on the couch. I still wasn't feeling great. I think I ended up going to bed really early. Mick was at work. Then Saturday rolled around and I still wasn't feeling good. I just wasn't feeling good. And I called the midwife, the primary midwife, and told her, I'm not feeling good. I just have a really bad and ominous feeling something's happening. I haven't been feeling her move as much. And she said, okay, go do some kick counts, which we had never even talked about kick counts. I knew about them because I read the book, What to Expect When You're Expecting, and it was in there, but she never said anything about kick counts. No one mentioned kick counts. We hadn't even got to that part yet in our class. And I was also going to a pregnancy class at the early years as well. Well, not a class, but like a Growing Healthy Together, it's called. So it was like you go every Tuesday, you learn about different things about your body and about the pregnancy and about how birthing and stuff. So yeah, I guess it was a class. So anyways, she just said, do that. I did that. I still didn't really feel her move that much. But I did get some kicks out of her. And then she said, well, you know what? You have the gestational diabetes. So obviously you're feeling sluggish right now. It's not under control. You're probably going to need insulin. So, of course she's sluggish. Blah, blah, blah. So I called her back the third time Saturday night and said, I'm going to go to the hospital. I'm not feeling good. She said, no, do not go to the hospital. If you're not bleeding, there is no reason to worry. She told me if I went to the hospital, I would lose her care because she didn't have privileges at the hospital. I would have to be transferred over, or she couldn't come, so, and there was no one else to come, so something to do with I would lose her and I would get to doctor. At this point, you know what? I really didn't want her anyways, so I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just left and went. That is my main thing. Try not to cry. I'm trying to get through this without crying. That is my main regret in life right now, is that I didn't just go. Because if I would have went, they would have been able to save her, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they would have been able to save her. I don't know what would have happened, but I should have went. It's my fault. And I don't care what anyone says. I know everyone's going to say it's not your fault, blah, blah, blah. It's my fault. Plain and simple. I should have went. I knew something was wrong. And even if she still would have died, at least I tried. In this way, I didn't try. I let somebody bully me into thinking that everything was okay when it wasn't. And I knew, what kind of mother am I? What kind of person am I? What kind of mother doesn't just go? I should have advocated for my health. I should have advocated for her health. But I really truly believe that NST would have shown, in the ultrasound would have shown something was wrong. They probably would have done blood work. The blood work would have shown that I had this infection. We could have, you know, maybe if it was too late, it was too late, but I could have had that option. Maybe they would have delivered. Maybe they would have had a C-section. So, it's my fault. I don't care. It's my fault. I have to live with this every single solitary day. Let's fast forward to Monday. Went to the ultrasound. They called me just before actually on our way there, and we were going to a different town than we lived in because of something unclear. Because that's where our family doctor was, and I couldn't get in anybody in this town, so we went there, and yeah, that's another whole mistake. But anyways, went for the ultrasound, and I was in good mood. Drank all my water. We got there, you know, we were laughing and joking about how much it was for parking. I was laughing and joking about our due date was 11/11/11, but they ended up messing it up, so it wasn't 11/11/11. That's the original date that they gave us, but that wasn't what the date was that they had written down on a piece of paper, because we were 38 weeks, and this was October the 1st, so 38, 39, 40, that's only 2 weeks. Well, I was 38 weeks. So that was only 2 weeks, so actually it would have been like October 11th or 12th. I don't know. Anyways, they had it all wrong. Another mistake that they did. But you know what? I really liked that 11/11/11 was the date, and I wanted to go over anyways because I didn't want a smaller baby. We were joking that Jessica Simpsons stole our date from us because that was her due date. I mean, that was her wedding date. That was the day she was going to get married to this guy. I don't even know if they're still together or now. Maybe they are. I don't know. And then I went in for the ultrasound. I talked to the technician, asked her her name. She told me her name. I said, oh, what a beautiful name. She did some measurements. She then said, when's the last time you felt the baby move? And I said, you know, I thought yesterday I was feeling her move. Because I did call again the midwife on Sunday again at some point and told her that I still wasn't feeling that great. And she said, oh, you have your ultrasound tomorrow, so you can wait to go to the ultrasound tomorrow. And I threw the phone across the room because I was so pissed off at her for telling me that. Because basically she wouldn't help me. The technician left the room. She said, okay, I just need to get the doctor so he can verify a few things, or whatever she said. I don't even know what she said. I have no idea. Sorry, I'm just trying to reach this Kleenex here. Or toilet paper that I have with me. I don't know what she said. I have no idea what she said, because I blacked out after that. Pretty much, I don't know. There's bits and pieces that come back now 6 years later. This was October the 1st, 2011. Doctor came back and said, I'm sorry, you have no heartbeat. The baby has no heartbeat. My life changed forever. Forever. Everything changed. It wasn't just that we were losing a baby. It's not just that you know. Then they start talking about delivering vaginally, no C-section, because, you know, future children, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit about future children? I'm sorry, at that point, I did not care about future children. I wanted this baby. And what made you think that for some reason I was going to have future children? Hello? My baby was dead inside of me, and you're worried about the future? No. I had to deliver this baby. They started making arrangements for me to deliver, and she's breech, and let's start moving her around before you deliver, or no, don't worry, because breech only means that it's harmful for the baby. So what about me? What about me? There's so much of it that was just so stupid and such bullcrap, and if I had to do it all over again, there's so much I would change. But obviously I would want her to be alive. I would deliver her in a heartbeat breech if it meant she would be alive. They started the induction. I went to the bathroom. I screamed. I punched the wall. I freaked out. I blacked out. They had to come and open the door and then put me in a wheelchair. And somehow I made it upstairs, and I saw the OB, and she asked me if I wanted the midwife to come because they called her, and I said no. And then they said, okay, well, she wants to be here. And I said, if she comes through these doors, I will murder her. And something like that. Like, I do not want to see this woman. And she stood outside the door, and apparently she waited for quite some time. I mean, I did end up suing the College of Midwives. Well, not suing them, but I did put a formal complaint in for the two midwives. The one that didn't tell me that I needed to go for the NST right away. The one that didn't just send us. The one that told me that, you know, if I'm not bleeding, no, not to worry. You know, like I ended up winning the case. I didn't win any money. It wasn't about the money, but I did end up, there was consequences for both of them. The one, actually, the primary one, lost her job, which now she has her own business. I can't even get into that. I feel like I need to go protest, but you know, I had a lot of anger and a lot of guilt and a lot of what ifs and a lot of should be's and a lot of, you know, stuff that needed to be resolved. But first and foremost, I needed to deliver this baby. This was October the 1st, like I said, on Monday. By now, it was 4 o'clock, I think. I was just starting the induction at 5 after they gave me something to calm me down, I think. I think they did. I started making calls, freaking out, called my mom, I called my friend Rebecca. I don't even know who else I told. My aunt, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea who I called. See, because my mom was still alive. She was still alive then. You see that? She was still alive. But I killed her because her granddaughter died, and then she ended up dying 6 months to the date of a heart attack, which was a heart failure, which was grief, and which was a broken heart, basically. And had Leia not died, my mom probably wouldn't have died, and that's on me. And I know that's stupid, because she drank, she smoked, she worked her ass off, she didn't take care of herself. I know that's not on me, but anyways, let's just fast forward through Monday, rest of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Still wasn't feeling anything. They kept the induction, they did everything that they needed to do. Everything. And I get the two pregnancies and delivery, I get the two deliveries between Ryder and Leia confused, because I don't remember a lot of Leia. I don't. So I don't know if I'm making this up, if it actually happened, or like I just going by little pieces of memories that come back and flash to me, because or what Mick tells me, but he was, out of it too. I mean, he took his vacation days early, obviously, to stay with me, and it was bad. It was so bad. We still hadn't delivered. I'm in the room, they're asking me all these questions. There was no ever any talk again about, I'm sorry, about a C-section. I didn't even suggest it. I didn't even advocate for it. And you know what, in hindsight, I should have, because who cares? I still had to heal at home anyways, and it wasn't like I was going anywhere. I was going to be grief-stricken for the rest of my life, or suicidal, and I very much was. So we called Mick's mom too, because she was alive. She came down, but she ended up coming after she was born, because she couldn't get a flight in right away. I heard millions of babies being born around me, live babies. I lost it. Can you understand how from Monday to Thursday when I delivered, how many babies were born and how I felt, and how long that was to have a dead baby inside of you at a hospital surrounded by people who are pregnant and coming in and gonna have their own babies, and they're going to walk out of the hospital with live babies, and then I have to walk out of the hospital and walk out in the same labor and delivery ward with people who have babies, and I'm going to leave with no baby. Like, it's all completely messed up, and I have such post-traumatic stress from it. It's not, like, it's so messed up. I can't even believe that I went through that. I can't believe that happened to me, that I survived that. I can't. She was born on Thursday. My water broke. I was sitting on a chair. It was like 6 in the morning or something like that. I was sitting on a chair. I was telling Mick that I just wanted to die. I just wanted this all to be over with. I was telling him I was sorry. I was telling him I understood if he wanted to leave me and get a divorce. My water broke and there was a lot of blood. And then somehow I delivered her. I don't know what time I delivered her at. I think I got an epidural. I did get an epidural because I had an epidural headache for 3 months after, but I don't know. I always say I delivered her at, like, physically she came out of me at 2 o'clock, but apparently it was 4 o'clock. Hi, Mr. B. I don't know that for a fact if it was 4 or 2, or the medical records that I read later on that we received, it was 4:30 or something like that, or 2. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not home, so I can't look through the book. Not that I would, because let's just be honest. She's 4 pounds, 12 ounces. Beautiful black hair. I know that she had black hair later on from looking at the pictures. I don't know that from looking at her. I said I didn't want to look at her. I said I didn't want to hold her. I said I didn't want to have anything to do with her. I was terrified. I was afraid. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to hold her. I didn't want to hold her. Why would I want to hold a dead baby? Because I'm a terrible person and I'm a terrible mother. Because who doesn't want to hold their baby? What kind of person am I? I'm a terrible person. That's what I am. I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible person and a terrible mother. In the end, I did hold her. I'll put some pictures at the end of this. My husband held her. They're so stupid. And then they took pictures. Someone took pictures. A grief counselor came in. A social worker came in. People came in. They were talking. The nurses, everybody was talking. She was still breached, so she came feet first. I felt everything. My epidural didn't work. I didn't even care. They didn't really give us a choice of how long we were able to stay with her. I don't even know how long I had with her. We took pictures of her in the thing. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember from seeing pictures. Did I kiss her? I don't know. Mick says I did. I know he did. But she was so cold. Could you imagine what it feels like to hold a dead baby and touch death and to deliver death? I delivered death. How effed up is that? You don't deliver death, you deliver life. It doesn't work this way. And then people were coming in and asking us what we wanted to do. Do we want a burial? Do we want a funeral? Do we want a service? Do we want her to be cremated? What do we want to do? I don't know.